What if the most attractive move you could make tonight was to do less, speak less, and reveal less, yet feel more in control than you ever have before? Stay with me, because that's the strategy almost every man ignores. Most men try harder. The man who gets chosen uses a different architecture. He creates gravity. He is a calm center that everything else orbits. The seduction strategy that 99% of men will never use is disciplined non-pursuit combined with precise leadership. Not passivity, not games. Leadership without the need to chase. It's the art of being the chooser, not the applicant. By the end of this message, you'll know exactly how to do it step by step, down to the words you say, how you stand, how you text, how you end the night, and how you keep the frame in the days after. You'll also get 3 short lines that change the entire dynamic the moment you say them. Keep listening, because each piece builds on the last and missing one makes the rest weaker. Here's the truth. Attraction isn't negotiated. It's sensed. She doesn't feel drawn to a speech. She feels drawn to a state. Research in social psychology has shown for decades that calm confidence, competence signals, and autonomy are read in seconds. You communicate your value mostly without words. The way you enter a room, the rhythm of your voice, the pauses you allow, the ease in your eyes, the way your attention lands and lifts. When you are trying to be chosen, you leak need. When you lead yourself and invite, you project choice. Most men never master that distinction. They think more effort will solve the problem. It won't. More effort looks like seeking approval. Strategic stillness looks like a man with options. Your new strategy is to stop auditioning and start calibrating. You will set the pace, filter respectfully, and invest only when there is real reciprocity. That small gap between what you feel and what you show creates the tension that drives attraction, not manipulation. Polarity. Begin with your state. Stoic discipline is your foundation. Control what is yours to control. Your breath, posture, pace, and focus. And release what never was, other people's moods, timing, and reactions. When you ground yourself, you broadcast stability. Before you speak to her, you slow your inhale, lengthen your exhale, let your shoulders drop, and plant your feet. You are not in a hurry. You are not seeking anything. You are evaluating. You are curious. You are open, but you are not available for everything. That line, open but not available for everything, should live in your bones. It softens your presence while preserving your standards. Now, the first phase, contact. The normal man tries to convince. You will simply notice and invite. Your opener is low investment and specific. You don't need a perfect line. You need an authentic observation delivered with a steady face and a slight smile. 2 examples. There's a calm energy about you, had to say hi. Or, that color fits your vibe, curious what made you pick it. Then pause. The pause matters. Most men flood the silence because they fear rejection. You will allow silence because you respect her freedom. That micro space tells her you're comfortable with uncertainty, one of the strongest signals of high value, because people with options are less rattled by not knowing. If she engages, you lightly stack. Context, curiosity, and qualification. Context to anchor the moment. I'm enjoying a quiet night. I'm meeting a friend in a bit. Curiosity to open the door. What's your favorite thing about this place? Qualification to set the frame. I like people who are passionate about something. What are you building this season? Qualification is where most men fail. They perform, they don't select. When you ask a standard rooted in values, you flip the frame from, "Do you like me?" to, "Do we fit?" Understand something crucial. High-value women are filtering constantly. They want to feel a man's center. Studies on mate choice repeatedly show that confidence, status signals, and emotional stability matter more than raw looks, especially over time. You don't need perfection. You need congruence. Congruence is when your words, eyes, hands, and time say the same thing. If you say you're busy and then hover for an hour, you are incongruent. If you say you're selective and then validate endlessly, you are incongruent. Your new rule is simple. Say less and mean all of it. When you compliment, make it earned, specific, and brief. When you tease, make it warm and precise, never cruel. When you share, be clear and contained. One thread at a time. When you notice interest, you escalate calmly. When you notice indifference, you release immediately. That rhythm, advance when invited, maintain when neutral, exit when blocked, keeps your self-respect untouched and paradoxically raises your attractiveness. Let's break down voice and body first, because those are carrying most of your message. Your voice lowers naturally when you exhale before speaking. Let your words begin at the bottom of the breath. Slow by 5 to 10%. Let the ends of sentences rest rather than climb. Shorten your phrases. Eliminate filler. Speak like a man who doesn't need to explain himself to be understood. Your body, feet grounded about shoulder width, hips relaxed, chest open but not flared, chin neutral. Look in a triangle, eyes to lips and back, not to sexualize but to show you're fully present. When she speaks, keep your shoulders still and your head micro-tilted toward her, then relevel to neutral. This is subtle leadership in listening. When you gesture, do it from your torso, not just your hands. Lean back 1 or 2 degrees more than feels normal. It projects ease. If you do nothing else from this entire training but adjust your breath, your pace, and that 2-degree lean, people will experience you as more centered within minutes. Conversation is where almost everyone blows it. They either interrogate or perform. You will use a simple architecture called hook, spike, space, pull. Hook is your opening observation. Spike is a moment of vividness, something playful or textured that makes her feel you're not beige. It could be a dry tease. You look like the friend who starts the dance floor then denies it, or a preference that's specific. I have a rule. Early mornings and slow Sundays. Chaos can fight me Monday through Friday. Space is a deliberate pause after a high-value signal. You let her lean in. Pull is a gentle invitation to continue that doesn't chase. Tell me the thing you do that people don't expect. Or, I'm curious. In your week, what's non-negotiable? This pattern makes the conversation feel like a dance, not an interview. Qualification is your backbone. Most men fear qualifying because they fear losing access, but access without respect is nothing. You will ask simple, elegant standards that reveal alignment. Try these. I value kindness in the small things. What's a small kindness you never skip? Or, I like people who protect their focus. What do you say no to easily? Or this one that filters instantly. I'm intentional about who I spend time with. What would you want me to know about you beyond your surface? When she answers, reward with warmth, not worship. That's attractive, followed by a calm nod, is enough. Too many words weaken a good moment. Now we need to talk about tension. Attraction needs oxygen. If you smother a spark with attention, it dies. The disciplined non-pursuit strategy is built on earning the right to invest more. You escalate only when there is clear reciprocity. Reciprocity shows up in her eyes staying a beat longer, her body angle opening toward you, her questions becoming more personal, her smile arriving faster. When you see it, you increase investment slightly, 1 notch at a time. If it stalls, you ease off without resentment. That non-reactivity is gold. Research on self-regulation shows that emotional stability reads as safety and status, both highly attractive. Remember, you're not avoiding investment, you're calibrating it. That's the difference between playing games and leading. Touch is a leadership test. Keep it respectful, obvious, and opt-out friendly. Early touch should be functional and brief. Guiding past a chair, a light tap on the elbow as you step aside, a celebratory palm when she says something witty. If she warms to it, she retouches, she lingers. You can increase duration slightly. If she doesn't, you drop it immediately and continue as if nothing happened. Consent is not just moral, it's magnetic. A man who is exquisitely attuned to yes and no communicates deep security. That security creates the freedom that fuels desire. Let's talk about tests. Women test not to hurt you, but to feel your center. A test is usually a small destabilization to see if you collapse into defensiveness or perform for approval. If she teases, "Are you always this confident?" the normal man either brags or backpedals. Your answer is neutral and playful, "Only when I'm in good company." If she delays a reply, the normal man chases. You do not. You maintain your rhythm and invite later with clarity. If she questions your standards, "So you only like serious people?" you clarify without apology. "I like playful, I don't like chaotic." Notice the difference. You're not judging her, you are revealing yourself. Clear boundaries expressed with warmth are devastatingly attractive because they promise a better experience for both of you. Now, the 3 lines I promise that flip the frame immediately. The first, "I don't chase, I invite. You say it calmly when the energy starts to feel like a tug of war. It respects both sides and resets the dynamic. The second, I take things at a pace that feels honest. Use this when someone tries to rush, pressure, or pull you off your center. It protects the moment while keeping attraction alive. The third, I'm selective with my time and I like how this feels. Let's keep it simple. This affirms the connection while asserting standards. None of these lines are magic. Your tone is the magic. Say them slowly, with warmth, and then go silent. Silence is what makes a strong line land. Now, logistics and leadership. Your invites must be specific, short, and assumptive without pressure. You do not ask, "What do you want to do?" You lead with options you genuinely like. Wednesday 7, espresso and a walk by the gallery. If you're free, join me. Or Saturday 5, quick tacos and the street market. I can do 45 minutes before I meet friends. Time boxing is power. It shows you have a life and protects your energy. If she counters with a time that works, confirm simply and tell her you'll text the exact spot the day of. If she hesitates, release. No worries. Another time. No sulking, no convincing. You cannot lose what is not choosing you. Texting is where most men erase their value. Your rule is short, warm, and purposeful. No essays, no anxious double texts. If you're confirming plans, 7 works. I'll send the pin an hour before. If you're following up after a good moment, that was fun. You're trouble, in the best way. Then disappear until the next purposeful message. If she goes quiet, do not chase. If she resurfaces later with no plan, re-establish structure. Good to hear from you. I'm free Thursday 7 or Sunday 4. If one fits, say so. This is not cold, it's clear. Clarity protects your dignity and shields you from time wasters. On the date, reduce variables. Choose a place that supports conversation. Standing or walking beats sitting shoulder to shoulder for a first meet. Keep it playful, short, and slightly kinetic. Your job is to lead a rhythm. Light banter, sincere curiosity, a dash of challenge, and a slice of future projection. Future projection is where you paint a tiny picture that invites her into your world without begging for it. I hike early on Sundays. The sunrise at the ridge is ridiculous. Say it and leave it. If she leans in, that sounds amazing. You smile and say, it is. You don't jump to, we should go. You let her imagine. Desire lives inside the space you don't fill. Now, about stories. We are not doing, I once did this, then that performances. We are doing distilled snapshots with purpose. When she asks about your work or goals, give short answers laced with values. I build products that make complex things simple. I like solving what others avoid. When she asks what you want in a connection, be unambiguous without being heavy. I like warmth, curiosity, and someone who respects time. Drama is a fast no. If that feels intense, good. Intensity filters. Filtering early prevents months of confusion. Men who fear to filter waste their best years. Time to talk about the psychology beneath the surface because it will keep you from slipping into old patterns. Humans are drawn to autonomy, competence, and relatedness. When you embody those, you create natural pull. Autonomy. You make choices based on your standards, not on approval. Competence. You handle logistics, emotions, and your own energy. Relatedness. You are present, attuned, and kind. The strategy most men avoid is building these first. They try to borrow power through tricks. Tricks backfire because your nervous system betrays you. The congruent man cannot be faked. That is why we start with breath, posture, and pace. Then we move to standards and invitations. Then we hold tension with silence. And we always leave when respect drops. You will also use the pratfall effect wisely. People like confidence paired with a human flaw. Reveal something small that shows you are real without degrading yourself. I burn pancakes with 100% consistency delivered with a grin is charming. I'm terrible with women is not. The difference is self-respect. When you share a small imperfection with a strong frame, it amplifies warmth. When you collapse into self-deprecation to fish for reassurance, it kills attraction. Escalation is not a staircase you sprint up, it's a thermostat you adjust. If the vibe is warm and engaged, you can add a layer of polarity. Say something like, you have a stubborn streak. It's cute until it isn't. Smile. Pause. Watch the eyes. If she laughs and leans in, you matched it. If she stiffens, you soften. Skill is in reading the microsignal and relaxing your intensity by 5% when needed. This is why most men fail with boldness. They lock themselves to a script and ignore feedback. Boldness without sensitivity is just noise. Boldness with sensitivity is magnetic. Ending the date is where leaders separate themselves. Do not drag it. If the window you set was 45 minutes, end around there unless the vibe is exceptional and mutually escalating. You stand, smile, and say, "I liked this. Let's leave it here." Then you open a clear next step only once. If you want to continue this, Thursday 7 is my window. If she says yes, perfect. If she hesitates, do not negotiate with maybe. End with warmth and go. This single habit raises your value more than any line because it demonstrates real options and self-control. After you part, wait until you're fully centered before you text anything. If it felt good, send a single line within a reasonable window, "good energy," or "you're fun in a dangerous way." Then go live your life. No play-by-play updates, no reactive memes. The man who is busy building doesn't orbit his phone. There is a concept in behavioral science called intermittent reinforcement that can create compulsive patterns when used to manipulate. You are not here to manipulate. You are here to live fully and invite. Your natural rhythm, focused time, then presence when you're with her, feels like intermittent attention, but the difference is intention. You're not withholding, you're leading a real life. That's what makes you hard to replace. Frame conflicts will happen. When she pulls you into unnecessary drama, breathe and step out without sarcasm or contempt. This doesn't feel like us. Let's restart later. If she cannot regulate, you do not escalate. The moment you start proving or persuading, you lose. You can clarify once. "I like directness and kindness. If that's not available, I'll step back." Then you step back. She will either meet you at your standard or she will exit your life. Both outcomes are wins because you protect your energy. Let's drop into grooming and style briefly because your signals start before you speak. Choose clean lines, neutral tones, and fit that flatters your frame. Quality over quantity. Crisp shoes. Simple watch. Soft, clean scent used lightly. No try-hard accessories. Your hair and beard should look intentional. Your nails and skin should be cared for. This isn't vanity, it's respect for the moment. People make rapid judgments, and while you cannot control everything, you can remove distractions. Minimalism is the visual form of disciplined non-pursuit. Nothing screams for attention. Everything rewards attention that arrives. Environment is a hidden multiplier. Where you spend time becomes part of your aura. Choose third spaces that reflect your taste. Quiet coffee spots, art streets, wine bars with conversation-level music, parks at golden hour. When your locations are curated, you lead without effort. You're not asking her to create the vibe. You bring the vibe with you. This small habit separates you from the majority of men who wing it and then blame fate when the energy feels off. Your daily life is the engine of your seductive power. If your calendar is empty, you will cling. If your body is neglected, you will compensate. If your mission is vague, you will seek meaning in people who cannot provide it. Build your strength, sharpen your craft, and protect your sleep. Move daily. Read deeply. Work on something that increases your competence. Stoic practice every morning. Visualize the day. Identify what is within your control. Decide how you will respond to setbacks, and rehearse returning to center. The man who returns to center faster wins, not just in attraction, in everything. When you live like this, you do not need tactics to appear high value. You are high value, and it leaks through your pores. Let's refine your boundaries and your green flags. Boundaries. You do not reward inconsistent effort with more effort. You do not chase unavailable people. You do not tolerate disrespect, lateness without communication, or constant chaos. You do not argue to be understood by someone who is committed to misunderstanding. Green flags, warm eye contact, consistent communication, kindness towards staff and strangers, accountability, curiosity about your inner world, and capacity to repair after tension. Speak these out loud early. I value consistency and kindness. If something feels off, I prefer directness and repair. When you name it, you make it real. Now let's rehearse the entire flow from first contact to the end of the date, so it lives in your muscle memory. You see her, you breathe out, your shoulders drop, You approach at a relaxed pace. You notice one detail and make a simple observation with a slight smile. You hold a beat of silence. You stack context, curiosity, and one qualifying question. You listen fully, shoulders quiet, micro-tilt, then relevel. You reward with warmth, not worship. You tease lightly once you sense comfort. You escalate investment only when there is reciprocity. You suggest one specific plan with a time box. You respect no as much as yes. You end before the energy dips. You text once with a warm line, then you live. That's it. Clean, calm, repeatable. Sometimes you will feel a strong spark and be tempted to throw the rulebook out the window. Strong feelings are not a reason to abandon standards. They are an invitation to deepen them. Keep your pace. Keep your breath. Keep your yeses earned. This is not scarcity thinking. It is abundance discipline. You are not afraid of losing her. You are afraid of losing your center. Protect your center, and the right connections will choose you more often and stay longer because they feel safe in your gravity. A word on vulnerability. You have been told in some places to be vulnerable, as if dumping your wounds on a new person is attractive. It's not. What attracts is self-aware strength. Vulnerability is valuable when it is earned, paced, and paired with ownership. Share real things in small doses after trust and reciprocity are present. I'm serious about my work because my family worked hard to give me a shot. That reveals depth without asking to be rescued. You are not building trauma bonds. You are building adult bonds, two whole people choosing to share time, honesty, and desire. You will feel resistance to this strategy because it demands maturity. It asks you to do the uncomfortable thing. Stop chasing, hold silence, make clear invites, walk away from pleasant maybes, and cultivate your life. The payoff is enormous. When you hold your frame, you become rare. Rare is attractive. Rare is respected. Rare is remembered. The 99% lose months in half connections because they cannot say no to mixed signals. You will say no easily, and that frees you to say yes to the woman who is a real match. Let me arm you with a few more practical lines for common moments. If she says, "I don't know what I want," respond with gentle clarity. Then let's keep it light. I don't do confusion. If she tests with, "Why should I trust you?" say, "You shouldn't yet. Take your time. I'll be consistent." If she says, "I'm busy," you answer, "Me too." If you want to find a window, suggest one. If she flirts but avoids plans, you end the loop. Fun chat. If you want to meet, pick a time. If not, wishing you a good week. If she arrives late without a heads up, you call it with grace. I run tight windows. Let's reschedule when timing is easier. Every line is respectful, calm, and decisive. You never punish. You simply reorganize your attention. And a few lines when the energy is good and you want to intensify it without forcing it. During conversation, you're easy to be around. With a smile when she reveals a value you love, that's rare. Keep that. When you want to move, walk with me for 5 minutes. When you want a quick, clean moment of contact, give me your hand a second. If she offers it, you hold it lightly at the fingers for a breath, then release first. Ending the date well. This was good. Let's pause here. Thursday 7th, same area. Keep everything measured. Your restraint is your power. Some of you are asking, what if I'm not naturally calm? Calm is trained. Breath, sleep, movement, and attention hygiene produce calm. Switch your phone to silent pockets during the day. Take 3 minutes before a social moment to lower your breath. Practice small silences with strangers. Barista, driver, clerk. Hold a smile and say nothing for an extra beat. Your nervous system learns quickly when you teach it small lessons daily. Confidence follows competence. Competence follows reps. Take reps. You don't need to be perfect to be compelling. You need to be present and practiced. Let's close with the core compact you will make with yourself. You will not chase. You will invite. You will not explain your worth. You will live your worth. You will not fill every silence. You will let desire breathe. You will not accept confusion as a lifestyle. You will choose clarity and let people opt in or out. You will lead with kindness and standards. You will end strong. You will continue building your body, mind, and mission so your presence deepens every month. This is the seduction strategy almost no one uses because it requires steady inner work. But once you do it, you become the man who feels like a calm fire, warm, bright, and impossible to ignore. Right now, decide on one small action you will take in the next 24 hours to embody this. Maybe it's crafting one clean invite for later this week. Maybe it's cleaning your space, trimming your wardrobe to only what fits impeccably, or choosing 2 new third spaces you'll frequent. Maybe it's writing your top 5 standards and rehearsing the line, "I don't chase, I invite." Then go take reps. The world is full of noise. Be the signal. Women feel the difference instantly. And when you walk into a room with this state, this structure, and this discipline, you won't need to hope to be chosen. You will choose, and you will be chosen by the kind of woman who recognizes a centered man when she meets one.